So I had an interview recently and I did not get the job, and I think I know why, and I want to talk about it. So in the interview, I wore a suit jacket. I looked really nice. My hair was done. I wasn't wearing too much makeup. I wasn't wearing too much jewelry, just some hoops. I answered every question as professionally as possible. I really worked hard to carry myself very well. I'm qualified for the role, right? I have a fantastic background. He asked really weird questions, though. He was like, not at all asking me about my background or what I can do. He was more focused on my work ethic, which is fantastic, right? So, but the issue was is he was asking the questions in a weird way. Like he would pose it as if, "Hey, I'd like to do this and there's no problem with it. What do you think?" And it made it very uncomfortable because I'm the type of person that I don't want to correct a boss. I think it's not the best, especially if you have like no rapport with that person and you're in an interview. Come on. And then I also don't want to like come off as like judgmental, and I'm not sure, like I wasn't yet in that conversation following what they wanted for me. Like I'm not like that quick, okay, on the punch. Like immediately after I was like, "Oh, that's what was going on." He wanted me to say, "No, that you shouldn't do that." But during it, it felt like, "You're crazy." That's what I'm saying in my head. But then like I'm answering, "Oh, yeah, okay," like a very like middle of the road way to answer. And I'll give you an example. So what happened was his dog came into the frame and he's petting his dog. And I was like, "Oh, look, your dog." And I was being nice, but it's extremely unprofessional during an interview, right? And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'm trying to get this job, so whatever." And then he was like, "Oh, yeah, it's totally fine. I'm okay with, like, if you have a dog or, if you have kids and they're in the background or whatever. And, if you ever want to go work at a coffee shop, like, I totally get that. Different scenery, and it'll be, like, relaxing for you, but you're still able to work remotely and be calm. Like, that's great. As long as your work's getting done." And he was like, "Even sometimes I like to take my kids to Sky Zone and then I'll go upstairs and I'll get some work done and they get to play all day and it's totally okay." And then he's asking me what I think about it. And I respond, "That's not something I've ever done before, but I'm interested in hearing more about it." And we get a little bit farther, like very little bit farther in the conversation. I was like, "Well, it seems like you're somebody who you care about the work being done, but you're also trying to create a good culture." And I was like, "I think you'd be somebody very enjoyable to work with." And I think the fact that he thought that I thought that what he was doing was acceptable and not saying, "No, absolutely not. We work in payroll. You cannot be doing any of that kind of stuff." I mean, which is common sense, but I have to get a feel for it. And also, I haven't worked the specific job yet. Like, I don't know what it looks like to do exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it because I've never worked for that company before. So, I don't know. Maybe there were work days where that wouldn't matter if you were like out in public, but I mean, in my experience, you can't be out in public doing payroll. Um, but I didn't catch on quick enough. I think it was definitely like him trying to be like, "How do you feel about that?" And he was hoping I would blow up and be like, "Absolutely not." But I mean, don't you come off wrong also by being like, "No, that's not professional. That's a security issue." Like, does he want me to correct him? I was confused. And I don't know. I cannot say this enough. People who pose questions like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. What do you think?" And then if I don't correct them and I just like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, totally," they think that I feel that way. or I have the same opinion. And I don't. Sometimes I don't feel like correcting them. Sometimes I correct people. It just depends on the situation and who I'm talking to and what it is. And so I have a hard time with people who think that they're being really smart about the way they are posing something. Like they're going to gain some kind of insight on that person. But you're not gaining what you think you're gaining at all. Not at all. Not at all. Well, that was it.